What's up, everyone? Welcome back to History on Repeat, the channel where we dive into the stories of people who went way beyond what anyone thought was possible, and you guessed it, absolute military badassery. Today we're talking about one of the toughest, most fearless Marines of World War II, a guy whose story deserves way more attention than it gets. His name was First Lieutenant William Deane Hawkins, and trust me, his path from small-town kid to Medal of Honor hero is wild. But first, yeah, believe it or not, I got a sponsor. Someone actually wants me, of all people, to talk about their products. Crazy, right? So today I'm talking about W. And you might be asking, are you talking about that American-based company that pops up on our socials all the time asking creators to help collab with them? The one that everyone thinks is a scam that actually isn't a scam and actually supplies energy-deprived individuals with a plethora of options to get fucking jacked? Yeah, those guys. Why? Because they're the first to ask me, and beggars can't be choosers. So if you're one of those people that are saying to yourself right now, boy, I feel like I'm ready to have a heart attack while playing my 253rd character in the 17th reiteration of Skyrim, then go check out W. And if you like what you see, you can get 10% off using my promo code HistoryOnRepeat. Ain't that nice? In all reality though, I did research into the company, and even though it's not technically a sponsorship because I'm not getting paid directly by them, I thought, let's try it out and see what happens. Besides, it's kind of cool saying that I got a sponsor. So check them out, or don't, or do whatever you like. But now, let's get back into the reason why you're all here.
It's History on Repeat.
Hell yeah.
William Deane Hawkins was born April 19, 1914 in Fort Scott, Kansas. And right off the bat, life hit him hard. Not only with the Great Depression, as most of these stories do from this era, but with some hot-ass water. Literally. When he was just a baby, a neighbor accidentally spilled boiling water on him. The burns were so bad, doctors thought he might lose use of one arm. But his mother, a total force of nature, massaged his muscles for months, helping him relearn how to walk. He carried those scars for the rest of his life, but they never slowed him down. If anything, they probably made him tougher. When Hawkins was about 5, his family moved to El Paso, Texas, which you would think would be followed with some new opportunities to improve he and his family's life, but wrong again. His dad passed away when he was only 8, and his mom went back to work as a teacher to support the family. Most of us would call it right then and stew in our own self-pity, but not William. Even then, Hawkins was showing signs of being ahead of his time. He actually skipped 5th grade and graduated from El Paso High when he was just 16. He got a scholarship to the Texas College of Mines, that's what we call today UTEP, where he studied engineering. But this guy wasn't just buried in textbooks. He worked whatever job he could find, selling newspapers, doing ranch work, working the railroad, you name it. He earned his degree and eventually took a job out in Los Angeles as an engineer for a title insurance company, which if there's anyone who knows why an insurance company needs an engineer, let me know in the comments.
What's so funny?
Who are you, stupid dick?
Anyways, luckily for William, they did, and by all accounts, he had a solid career going, just a normal, comfortable life ahead of him. But when the war came, Hawkins had other ideas. December 7th, 1941, Pearl Harbor. Like a lot of Americans, Hawkins didn't hesitate. He wanted in. He first tried to join the Army Air Corps and then the Navy Air Corps, but both turned him down because of those old burn scars. Most people would have taken that as a sign to move on. Hawkins didn't, because tragedy wasn't something this man was fazed by. He went straight to the Marine Corps and enlisted in the Marine Corps Reserve on January 5th, 1942. He trained at the Recruit Depot in San Diego and went through Scout Sniper School at Camp Elliott. He wasn't just another recruit. He stood out fast. His leadership, his toughness, and his calm under pressure earned him quick promotions. Within months, he went from private first class to sergeant, and by November of 1942, right in the middle of the Guadalcanal campaign, he was commissioned as a second lieutenant. A year later, he was promoted again to first lieutenant. By that point, he was commanding a scout sniper platoon attached to the 2nd Marines, 2nd Marine Division, some of the toughest Marines in the Pacific. I guess he had the blood of Crayola and Devil Dog in his system the entire time, which is exactly what the war effort needed. Now this is where Hawkins' legendary status was born, the Battle of Tarawa. November 20th, 1943, the 2nd Marine Division hits the beaches of Batio Island, part of the Tarawa Atoll in the Gilbert Islands. It's one of the most brutal amphibious landings of the entire war. Japanese defenses were insane. Barbed wire, concrete bunkers, machine gun nests everywhere. The entire beach is zeroed in by artillery and mortars. And just a quick side story here, my own father's uncle fought in this battle. And even as a kid, I remember him telling me Tarawa was the worst fight I have ever experienced. He didn't go into too much detail, but he did tell me that during the landing, his craft got stuck on some of the coral reefs surrounding the island, and he and the rest of the Marines on his boat were then forced to wade 300 yards in water up to their chins as machine gun fire and mortars dropped all around them. That's a first-eye account from someone I knew well, and as one of the most badass members of my own family's veteran line, if he said it was the worst, I fucking believe him, because Uncle Don was as tough as they come. Anyways, back to William. Not faring much better than my uncle, Hawkins is the first man off the landing craft at the pier, sprinting into hell. While enemy fire rips across the sand, he moves down the pier, clearing out machine gun nests that are tearing up the main landing force. He leads his men forward, grenade in hand, blasting through bunkers, one by one. That night, while most Marines are pinned down, Hawkins keeps pushing. He crawls towards enemy positions, throws grenades in the pillboxes, and personally directs demolition teams. He's not watching from behind. He's in front, leading every charge. At dawn the next day, he spots a Japanese stronghold, 5 machine guns covering the beach. Most people would have called it artillery. Hawkins? No. He grabs his weapon, crawls forward through open fire, and starts taking them out himself. He fires point blank into their loopholes and tosses grenades until the whole thing is silenced. But it didn't come without a cost. In the process, he takes a bullet to the chest. It's at this point he could stop. He could wait for a medic, he could wait for backup, or if able, he could even retreat back to safety. He doesn't have much time to really question his options when he sees 3 more enemy positions open fire on his buddies and the other Americans behind him. And in that moment, he knows there's only one option left. He keeps fighting. And after a few more grenade tosses and some well-placed shots, William destroys the last 3 enemy positions in that area. The Japanese guns are quiet, but so is First Lieutenant William Deane Hawkins, finally killed by enemy shell fire. William Deane Hawkins was 29 years old, and his actions helped secure the beachhead at Tarawa, one of the bloodiest, hardest-won victories of the Pacific War. Hawkins didn't live to see the impact of what he did, but the Marines never forgot. His courage inspired everyone around him and became part of the Marine Corps history. For his actions on November 20th and the 21st in 1943, he was posthumously awarded the Medal of Honor. In August 1944, President Franklin D. Roosevelt presented the medal to Hawkins' mother, C. Jane Hawkins, at the White House. His citation reads like something out of a movie, except this wasn't fiction. This was one man deciding that failure simply wasn't an option. After Tarawa, the airfield on Batio Island was named Hawkins Field in his honor. A U.S. Navy destroyer, the USS Hawkins, DD-873, also carried his name. Back home in El Paso, schools, memorials, and even scholarships keep his story alive. The legacy isn't just about plaques and names, it's what he represented, leading from the front, never backing down, and giving everything for the men beside him. His fellow Marines said that even before Tarawa, Hawkins would tell people, "I'll put my platoon up against any company of soldiers on earth and guarantee to win." He wasn't just bragging, he was confident in his men, and they were that confident in him. William Deane Hawkins came from humble beginnings and turned into one of the most fearless combat leaders in World War II. His story reminds us that heroism isn't just about being fearless, it's about doing your duty despite the fear, despite the pain, and despite the odds. He didn't have to be there, he chose to be. And that's what makes his story worth telling and repeating. Thanks for watching History on Repeat. If you like this deep dive into a story of real bravery, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and let me know in the comments who I should cover next, or, as always, if I missed anything. Until next time, stay curious, stay sharp, and I'll see you in the next one.
It's history on repeat.
Hell yeah.